Now we're going to start talking about the maintenance of daily routine service that we need to monitor. Now he's looking at the feeder chain tension. I suggest for you to grab the chain at the bottom. You get a more true tension feeling than trying to grab it at the top of the feeder house. So this is what we're wanting to know, is how much tension is on the chain. Next, we are checking the unloading auger chain tension. The chain tension shouldn't just barely move. We have excessive chain movement, that means the chain may not hold and pull the material in correctly, adding more load to your job that it's trying to do. We're looking now at the shaker system. We're looking to see if daily, make sure no bushings have failed or bearings in this area, because this is some of the key areas. When you're blowing the machine off, you can actually look at these areas to save you a second trip around the machine. Open the residue door for the cleaning system so we can see any damages to the chopper or the sieve area. This makes it easy access for maintenance to make sure we don't have no problems when we first start out of the day. Now he's checking for belt damages and any other sorts of pulleys loose or wobbling. That way you will not have no problems during the field usage. Checks the chain tension on the elevators to make sure there's the correct amount of chain tension and bearing fatigue in this high stress working area. He's now checking elevator drive chain tension. This is the tailings. It is a little excessive loose. And then the other one, he is checking the clean grain elevator drive chain for wear and for tension. He's now looking at the cleaning fan belt and bearings. The belt, he is checking to make sure it is not excessive worn, cracked, or broken. Now he's pulling on the elevator drive belt and the shaker drive belt. It's all the same. The belt will crack and break, and that will stop the whole shaker system and cleaning system. Now we're checking the feeder house gearbox for the feeder house. He's checking to make sure there's no contamination in the oil and it's full to the level specified in the book. He is now checking the cab fresh air filter, because this will contaminate and stop up as daily use. Now we're looking at the engine air screen. The air screen filters the air, getting trash away from as much as it can from the radiator. He's looking for cracks, breaks in the sealing surface and the cleaning of the debris off of the screen. We look at the radiator cores to see if they need to be blowed out or cleaned for the daily usage, because these areas plug up. If they do, because your hydraulic temperature's running high, your air temperature to run high, and your water temperature of your engine to run high. We are looking at the engine fresh air filter. This filter needs to be checked daily because of the trash and the dust in the area to be cleaned for the daily work. Because if not, some of these machines will let you know that it's not been cleaned, and it will rob horsepower and excessive fuel consumption. This here is your coolant reservoir or your radiator reservoir. You check it daily to make sure we haven't had a minor leak, losing some fluid to make the machine to run hotter. Now we're looking at the hydraulic reservoir. We're trying to check the hydraulic fluid level and make sure it has enough fluid. When you're checking a combine, normally you want the feeder house in the down position. That way we do not overfill the reservoir, and the excess will blow out all over the top of the machine. Now we are going to check rotor gearbox fluid level. This we need to check daily to make sure the gearbox didn't run hot or blow excessive oil out. And we're going to make sure we maintenance the grease fittings on the torque sensing pulley. And we'll look just a quick glance at the rotor belt to make sure there's no damages or chunks of the belt breaking out. Now we're going to check the engine oil level. We're checking our daily engine oil level to make sure we're not had an overconsumption of oil or a leak on the system. We are checking the engine fan and belt tension of the radiator to make sure the engine has proper tension to cool the engine and airflow for the engine. As we're looking at the engine itself, we just make sure we don't see no stress cracking of top hoses, exhaust leaks, anything or debris build up on the engine, because we are now having problems with our birds building nests on top of engines. So we suggest you to stop and take a minute and look to prevent a problem.
Remember, maintenance is the key
to longevity life of your machine.
On behalf of H&R Agri-Power, we'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch our instructional videos. If you have questions or comments related to any of the content that you saw in the videos, please feel free to leave a message in our comment box. Or if you'd like to take advantage of one of our equipment inspections, please feel free to reach out to your local H&R Agri-Power Service Department. Again, thank you.